Let me ask you something straight. When was the last time you felt truly in control? Not of your work, not of your finances, but of your own mind, your own damn emotions. The world wants men your age to fade quietly into the background. Take it easy, they say. Act your age. But you and I both know life doesn't stop testing a man just because the calendar says 60. You've survived more than most. You've buried friends. You felt love so fierce it left scars. You've stared down your own mortality, maybe in a hospital room, maybe in the dead of night, with nothing but your thoughts for company. And through it all, you stood tall. But here's the real secret. The toughest battle isn't out there. It's not the economy, not your job, not your health. The toughest battlefield is right between your ears. This is the part of life no one talks about. Not at the bar, not at family dinners. Men your age are supposed to have all the answers, to never break, to never show pain. So you hold it in, swallow it down, lock it behind the strongest doors you can build. That's what you were taught. But let me tell you, real strength isn't silence. It's mastery. And that, my brother, is where stoicism comes in. Forget the image of the stone-faced old man with no feelings. Stoicism isn't about being cold. It's about being unbreakable. Not because nothing gets to you, but because you choose what gets to you. You choose how you respond. Tonight, I want you to take a look in the mirror. Not for the wrinkles, not for the scars, but for the fire that's still burning inside. Ask yourself, are you ready to fight the only battle that matters now? The battle for your own mind? In this series, we're not talking philosophy for dusty bookshelves. We're talking battle plans for real men with history, with regrets, with dreams that refuse to die. Men like you. This is your invitation. Not to slow down, but to rise up. To claim what the world can't give you, your peace, your clarity, your emotional mastery. Are you ready? Because the next step is not for the faint of heart. Last night, you looked in the mirror and saw the man who survived it all. But survival isn't the end game, it's just the starting line. Every warrior knows, before you step onto the battlefield, you need to know where the enemy is. You need to know what's in your control and what isn't. Let's get one thing straight. The world, out of your control. Politicians, markets, your boss, your body getting older, the aches that show up without warning, they're coming, whether you're ready or not. That's life. But here's the secret weapon the Stoics mastered. They drew a hard line in the sand. On one side, everything you can't control. On the other, the only thing that ever mattered, your response. Marcus Aurelius was an emperor, a general, a father. He didn't control the plagues, the wars, or the betrayals that stormed his life. But he ruled his mind. He wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." You want to be a man who's unshakable? Start here. The phone rings with bad news. You choose your reaction. The doctor delivers a tough diagnosis. You decide how you'll fight. People disappoint you. You decide if they get to live rent-free in your head. Here's your challenge for this week. When something hits you, news, pain, anger, loss, pause. Just for a breath. Feel it, but don't let it own you. Remind yourself, this I can't control. But I control me. That's where your freedom lives. That's where your power begins. Picture a seasoned warrior in the heart of battle. The chaos is deafening. But the best? He isn't distracted by every arrow, every shout. He locks in, breathes deep, and does what he's trained to do. Focus on what matters, and let the rest fall away. This is not about being passive. It's about being unstoppable. If you're the man who decides, no matter what comes at me, I choose my response, nothing in this world can break you. And that, my friend, is step one to emotional mastery. Next time, we'll talk about another weapon in your arsenal, the courage to let go, and how detachment makes a warrior even stronger. You're not getting older. You're getting sharper. Stay tuned. Let's be real. Every man over 60 has watched life change in ways he couldn't stop if he tried. People leave. Health shifts. The world speeds up. Technology moves faster than your patience. The face in the mirror looks a little older, but the fire in the eyes, that's still yours. But the men who thrive, not just survive, are the ones who understand this truth. Holding on too tightly to the past is the quickest way to break your spirit. Warriors aren't just fighters, they're adapters. They know when to stand their ground and when to let go with honor. Detachment isn't coldness, it's courage. It's the will to face change without resentment. It's saying, I am not my job. I am not my bank account. I am not just a sum of what I once was. You're more. You're the wisdom you carry, the scars you wear with pride, the peace you claim every morning, no matter what's happening outside your door. Look, you might not run as fast as you once did. Maybe the world doesn't ask for your opinion as much. But that doesn't make you any less of a man. If anything, it proves your strength. Because you're still here, still learning, still fighting your battles with dignity. This week, make it your mission. Whenever life changes suddenly, maybe a friend moves on, a tradition ends, or your role in the family shifts, don't cling to what was. Instead, honor it, then face what is. Say to yourself, I welcome what comes. I release what goes. I am the constant in my own life. Imagine a veteran warrior standing at the edge of a battlefield that's grown quiet. He sets down his sword not in defeat, but in wisdom. He knows new battles will come, new strengths will be required, and he stands ready, unburdened by yesterday. Gentlemen, detachment is the mark of a real man, the courage to face the present without bitterness for the past or fear for the future. This is your edge. This is your armor. Next up, we sharpen your blade even more with the discipline to master your emotional reactions. Because a true warrior's strength isn't just in what he fights, but in how he fights. You're not just living, you're evolving. And that, my brother, is the way of the Stoic warrior. A true warrior doesn't win every battle by swinging harder. He wins by staying calm when others lose their heads, by mastering his emotions, not letting them master him. That's the Stoic code, and it's the weapon that separates the old lion from the young, reckless cub. Maybe you've noticed it lately, how fast anger rises when someone disrespects you, how easy it is to feel frustration at family or the world that's moved on without asking your permission. The old reflex is to react fast, to raise your voice, to let the world know you're still a force. But is that real strength or just noise? Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." That's not philosophy for weak men. That's a battle strategy for survivors. Every time life pushes your buttons, you have two choices. React on instinct or pause, breathe, and choose your response like a man who's seen it all and is above it. Here's the challenge for this week. When the old triggers come, someone cuts you off, a family member disappoints, bad news lands in your lap. Don't give your power away. Take a breath. Count to 5 if you need to. Picture yourself in the heat of a battlefield. Arrows flying. Chaos everywhere. The young men panic. The real warrior stands firm, surveys the field, and moves with purpose. Every time you pause before reacting, you're forging steel inside yourself. You're proving you are not a slave to anger, fear, or worry. You are their master. That pause, that's your sword, your shield, your proof that wisdom is better than rage. Emotional discipline is your secret weapon. With every challenge, you either feed your frustration or sharpen your control. The choice is always yours. Next up, we add another layer to your armor, the power of gratitude. Because even warriors need to remember what's worth fighting for. You're not just enduring, you're commanding. That's the Stoic path, and you're walking it with pride. Let's set the record straight. Gratitude isn't weakness. It's not some gentle whisper from men who've never bled. True gratitude is the battle cry of those who've lost, endured, and still stand. It's the shield that turns loss into wisdom, pain into strength. You know what it's like to have less than you did before. Maybe fewer friends at the table, a body that moves slower, ambitions that have changed shape. But you're still here. And that means there's still something to fight for. The Stoics weren't blind to suffering. They saw the world as it is, tough, unfair, unpredictable. But they also saw what remains, no matter what life takes. The sunrise, a strong cup of coffee, a hand on your shoulder, the laughter of a grandchild, the quiet pride in knowing you did your best. Here's your challenge for this week. Each evening, take 1 minute, just 60 seconds, to remember or write down one thing you're grateful for. Maybe it's the peace of a silent morning, a memory that makes you smile, or simply that you still have the grit to keep going. Gratitude isn't about pretending everything's perfect. It's about focusing on what's real and what's yours. The world can strip away a lot, but it can't touch the core of a man who sees what he still has. Picture the veteran, sitting by the fire after a long day. He's not counting medals or mourning old battles lost. He's grateful for warmth, for the stories he's gathered, for the strength that lets him face one more day with clear eyes and an open heart. Gratitude is fuel. It's what lets you carry on with dignity when others fold. It makes you unbreakable, not because life gets easier, but because you choose to see the value in what remains. Next up, we talk about legacy, about passing your wisdom on, about making your struggles mean something for those who follow. You're not just alive, you're an example, and your gratitude might be the torch that lights the way for someone else. You've come this far, not just to survive, but to lead. Because the mark of a real man isn't measured by the gold in his pocket or the titles on his door, but by the legacy he leaves behind. What will your story teach those who follow? Stoicism isn't just for you. It's for every man who will one day face the storms you've weathered. The son who wonders how to stand tall when life tries to bring him to his knees. The young man at work, desperate for an anchor when the world turns upside down. The friend who needs to see with his own eyes what true resilience looks like. You are the living proof. Every scar, every mistake, every lesson you learned the hard way. It's not just your survival manual. It's a map for those still lost in the fight. You've earned your wisdom, one battle at a time. Don't hide it. Don't downplay it. Pass it on. Here's your challenge, maybe your most important yet. Look for moments to mentor. Don't preach, don't lecture. Share your stories. Offer a listening ear and a steady hand. Let others see you practice what you preach. Emotional mastery, control, gratitude, courage. Because you never know who's watching, who's silently learning from the way you carry yourself. And as you do this, remember, the impact you leave is bigger than any single victory or failure. It's the quiet respect in your grandson's eyes, the strength in your partner's voice, the resilience in a friend who watched you stand tall through chaos. When you master yourself, you leave a legacy that can't be erased by time or circumstance. Your life becomes more than a sum of years. It becomes a standard for others to reach for. The Stoics knew our days are limited, but the power of our example can echo for generations. So stand tall, warrior. Breathe deep. You face life's storms and come through sharpened, not shattered. Your story matters, not just to you, but to everyone who's lucky enough to cross your path. Your emotional mastery is your final battle and your lasting gift. Claim it, live it, pass it on. This is your legacy. This is the way of the Stoic warrior. Gentlemen, if you've made it through this series, you already know. You're not just getting older, you're getting sharper. You stood the test of time, mastered your emotions, and forged a legacy worth passing on. Remember, real strength is measured not by what life throws at you, but by how you respond. With discipline, gratitude, and unwavering resolve, you are the Stoic warrior. If these lessons hit home, if you're ready to keep building that inner fortress and join a brotherhood of men who refuse to settle for less than mastery, then you're exactly where you need to be. Don't let this be the end of your journey. Make it the beginning. Subscribe now for more powerful lessons, real stories, and practical tools to sharpen your mind and strengthen your spirit. Drop a comment below. What battle are you facing right now? What have you conquered? Let's build a community of warriors together. Stand tall, stay strong, and remember, you've earned your peace. Claim it. Subscribe and join the brotherhood. Your next chapter starts here.